Welcome to Bloom from the Ground Up. I'm Angela Moonan, and thanks for tuning in to my inaugural podcast. So I decided, because one of the foundations of Bloom and blooming is spontaneity and being here and being present, living in the here and now. Even the best laid plans don't always come together anyway. So life is kind of about piecing things together, one realization at a time. So I decided not to plan out the show's content. We shall see how that goes. And I took my coach's advice. It really resonated with me when she suggested it. She said, rather than just planning it all out, what if you just went with it? What if you just began? And she suggested this idea, and so that's what I've done. So I'm going to pull out, I'm going to pull out this little note. I put all these fortunes, if you will, all these little idea seeds of things that I am learning or have learned, and are the purpose of sharing them here, with the idea that maybe through that you might find bits and pieces of this that meet you where you're at and on your learning and going and growing curve, that makes sense for you and help you get to where you want to go from wherever it is that you are right now. So I put all of these little fortunes in a bag. I'm going to pull one out now, and I'm just going to go with it and see what it says. Yes. Okay. I'm unfolding the fortune cookie note, and it says the word on it, thankful. And that is really where it all begins, because it's amazing when you are practicing being thankful, how life manages to bloom for you and get better. So there are a couple of ways of doing this. You might consider, one of the ways that I've done it is I like to do it in the morning, because it sets a beautiful tone for my day. And that is when I wake up, even if I'm feeling a little eeky creaky in my hips or ankles or whatever the case may be, as I go to get out of bed, I first take stock of what I am thankful for. And I begin with what I'm thankful for about in the world, in the world around me. I'm thankful for my fur babies. I'm thankful for the work I get to do with clients. I'm thankful for the beauty that is all around me. I live in a very beautiful place, and I'm very fortunate, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for my family, and specifically right now for where things are at, the way that my daughter is blossoming with college and her getting her first semester under her belt. I'm very thankful for that and for her beauty and the things she teaches me. And then I move to, you can pick 3 things, 4 things, 5 things. I select 5. That works for me. I move to things that I'm thankful for about myself. And this, for some of us, is a little bit harder. It's can be difficult to look in the mirror or to self-reflect and feel okay about being grateful about our own gifts. At least it felt that way for me when I first started. I felt self-conscious about actually being thankful for and recognizing and articulating the things about me that are good. And I don't know why. I believe on some level we're conditioned that way in our society from small age, tiny age, of feeling like you're being either selfish or self-righteous or self-centered, by recognizing your own gifts and being thankful for them. So before we're done today, and I do thank you again for tuning in to this 10 or 15 minutes with me. If you're interested in the art of blooming your life, if you're interested in blooming from the ground up, right where you are, right how you are, right here and now, then I promise you that if you take a few minutes with me each day, that's exactly what can happen for you as well, as it has happened for me and continues to happen for me. So before we wrap up today, we're actually going to do that. We're going to go through the things that we're thankful for and recognize them. And here's what I notice. For example, I received a text this morning from a family member with a link to an article that a gentleman I know was arrested for DWI over the weekend. And he's a principal in our hometown. And he, I'm sure, is finding difficulty in seeing what there is to be thankful for right now. And he's got some dark days ahead. I emailed him. I've never been in that position. I've known people who have. And I can't completely imagine or fully imagine what he must be experiencing right now. But I did send him an email this morning and thanked him and identified, for him that he has a great deal to be thankful for, that he's impacted a lot of lives. He's a good man. He's a really good man. And he's led by example. And I think, in our society, the inclination anyway, by parents and teachers and colleagues will be to immediately jump to this one thing that he made a mistake over or had really bad fortune with, and maybe not remember all of the wonderful things that he's the same man, all of the wonderful things that he has done and led by example for our students and parents. And can you imagine being a high school principal these days anyway? Just can't imagine how difficult that must be. If you're pleasing the parents, you're not pleasing the teachers. If you're pleasing the teachers, you're not pleasing the students. If you're, right, really very difficult role to play and do a good job at, which he has done. And I reassured him that this too shall pass, and that even though he may not see much to be thankful for right now, if he can express gratitude for the things that he does have in his life, that it will ease the burden and he will move through it more quickly. And that's life. That's contrast. It's not going to be perfect every day. Far from it. That's what we signed up for when we decided we wanted to participate on this planet. We signed up for the contrast, the difficulty, the expansion, the all of it, the whole ball of wax. And so in the garden of life, it's sifting and sorting through those rocks and trusting that by being thankful for the seeds that we know that are planted there. And if we plant further seeds that we know are right for us, they may not be right for others or for our family members or our lovers or our partners or our business colleagues. But if they're right for you, you'll know it. And if you trust that by planting those seeds of thankfulness, finding something in your life to be thankful for, that it propagates, it expands how you're seeing the world today. It puts a different pair of glasses on. I wear glasses or contacts. I don't know if you do, but it's like changing your glasses. Putting a pair of glasses on of gratitude, of thankfulness, allows you to color your world differently. And in so doing, watch how the world responds to you. I've noticed when I begin my day more thankful, and when I complete my day in an attitude of thankfulness, more people express their thankfulness to me. It's incredible. It really does work. So are you ready to try this? So it's very simple. Now, if you're driving, obviously, you want to pay attention to what you're doing, right? Whether you're in the grocery store or at your desk or getting ready to walk into the boardroom, or you are getting ready to take a nap, or you're starting your day, whatever the case may be, you might consider doing this particular approach that works really, really well for me. And if not, just in doing it, you'll open yourself up to explore other ways of making it work for you. You'll know. So here we go. If you can think of 5 things right now and say them out loud to yourself, what you're thankful for in the world, whatever your view might be, wherever you might be right now, what are 5 things that are in your life and in the world that you're thankful for? And write them down. Say them out loud, write them down. Articulate them in some way to yourself. And as I stated earlier, I am so thankful. I'm looking at her right now, my Josie girl, my mutt that I adopted from the pound. Her playfulness, her energy, her unconditional love and joy that she emanates. You cannot be around her and not be in a good mood. So I'm very thankful for that. And all of the lessons in the almost 3 years now that she's almost 3 years old. In the 3 years that I've had her, the lessons she has taught me and continues to share with me. Very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for where I live, the blue skies, the white puffy clouds, the ocean, such beauty, and I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for the clients that I get to share their journey with them. I'm very thankful for that, and I learned so much from them. Those are the only kinds of clients I want to work with, are people who I learn from. Being in their presence is some kind of mirror back to me of what I'm learning about myself and where I'm at in my journey. I'm so thankful for my daughter and her blossoming right now. She's just really coming into finding her own voice, and it took me a lot of years to get to where she's at the ripe young age of 18. So I'm so thankful for that, and I hope that I have done well in contributing to that. But it's really her. It's really her that's doing her own blooming. And I'm so thankful for the love that I have from my partner, my beloved, and from my family who loves me so dearly. Very thankful. Now the things that I'm thankful for about myself. So you think about the gifts that you have, the capabilities, the talents, however large or small they might be. You might love working with your hands. You might be really creative. You might just be that person that all your friends come to get a laugh. What are the things about you that you're thankful for? This is a little harder. Maybe you'll find it easy. For me, when I began, it was not easy. And it wasn't because I don't think that I was, I didn't have any more difficult of a life than any of the rest of us here. I'm not really sure. Again, I think it's something rooted in this idea of being selfless. That you can't be selfish. No one wants to be painted that way. There's a tremendous amount of guilt and shame that's attached. I'm not sure who decided that. The bigger you are and the more you recognize your own gifts, the easier it is to share them with others and help the world and everyone else in it find more contentment while they're here. So, what are the things you're thankful for about yourself? And as you do this practice, it will get easier and easier, and you will begin to see how that small shift within yourself in the here and now begins to emanate outward. And it's a beautiful thing to see how the world responds and feel how the world responds to you, and how putting on that different lens each day, absolutely, with every fiber of my being, I know this to be true because I've experienced it firsthand. It shapes and shifts your interactions with others, the ease of conversation, that negotiation or presentation that's coming up, that job interview, that difficult conversation with your spouse, that really, really challenging colleague or boss that you work with, or the board that you have to report to. If you practice thankfulness, things just begin to bloom. They begin to open up. That is my absolute promise to you. So, are you ready to bloom? Thank you so much for spending this time with me in my first podcast. I am grateful, and it went pretty well, I think. All spontaneous, all from the heart, and I hope that you could feel that. That's my intent, and I hope that in sharing this with you and being on this journey with you, you get to experience the fullness of yourself, the blooming of yourself, everything you need, everything that you require, you already have inside of you. It's a question of shining a light on it and allowing it to bloom forth right where you are, with everything you are, right here and now. Thank you for joining me. Bloom from the ground up.